wanted to start the morning out. Not that we really need to find a way to be positive and uplifting with the music this morning because, I mean, it's Friday, and that should be enough for most of us. It is the end of the week, and TGIF. Wow. Good morning. I'm still recovering from yesterday morning, but I'll be okay. From Fly on the Wall Productions, you got the Aired Out Podcast, streamed live everywhere you get your podcasts and on the web at airedoutVT.com. Birthdays today, Chris Powers, who has been in touch with me over the last couple of weeks and basically telling me that he is just buried. But he will be on the air with me sometime this summer. Bonnie Willie, Elena Janik, Bina Byrne, Jacqueline Bradley, Deb Sweetster, Jen Anderson, looks like Ben Nelson, Robin Doolin, Jeff Martin. These are all celebrating birthdays today. Don Fordham, Crystal Young, Heidi Elizabeth, Jody Beaupre Grasso. Happy birthday, Jody. Mike Ducey, all celebrating birthdays today. We have clouds. We have snow showers today and 46 degrees a little bit later on. Tonight, cloudy and 34. Saturday, looks like cloudy, rain showers, and 45. I know. Sunday, cloudy, shocker, 51 degrees though. So we're rebounding here slowly. But like I said yesterday, friends and family down south, just a few hours from us, are already, and I said this yesterday, I'm going to say it again, weed whacking, mowing. Black flies are coming. You know that. So Sunday, cloudy, 51. Monday, we're talking lower 60s. About friggin' time. Boy, I don't know if you have had a chance to pass by or pull into and have a look at Montpelier Volkswagen, part of the Autosaver Group, home of the best price, period. But lately, the vehicles that they have on the lot, I am going to run over there and go live again. They're beautiful. Not only that, but I'm also going to be pulling into the bay and getting a much-needed alignment, which I was told yesterday that it's pretty bad. And my tires are not wearing evenly. And they're making a humming sound. All of this stuff. Yeah, I mean, the Frosteves, the potholes, certainly no help, but Montpelier Volkswagen is going to be helping me out very soon. And I'm going to just pull in. I'm going to drive right into that service bay where there's like this $1 million computer that shoots up the whole side of my car and gives an instant reading on how bad my car is out of alignment. Which is really super high new technology, and it's something I'm really excited to experience. Giroux General Transport. Also want to give them a hit this morning. They are already accepting students for their next round of classes April 28th, and classroom spots are filling up quickly. So if you haven't been in touch with Tracy yet over at Giroux General Transport, the time to do that is now. And don't forget, you need to allow that extra time to get your permit before the first class. 802-279-3325. 802-279-3325. Find out everything you need to know before April 28th. Make it happen. If this is something you're even remotely thinking about, get on it. Don't wait. Weekend movies from FGB Theaters. I posted them up yesterday. I can't remember them. I know that one of them, of course, is Minecraft, which I'm going to be going and seeing maybe tonight with my buddy Andy and Lily as well. But tickets are on sale now for a whole slew of new movies that are coming out. FGBtheaters.com. That's the best way to get your ticket in advance so you can skip the line. FGB Theaters on Facebook, too. Of course, we're talking about the Capitol Showplace and the Paramount Twin right here in the Granite City. Sports, Red Sox won last night in extra innings to 4-3. They're going to take on, looks like, the last of four, am I right, against the Blue Jays, and then they're going to be on the road for the next week. Chicago for the weekend with the White Sox, and then Tampa Bay Rays starting on Monday night. Linda's saying that it was snowing in Massachusetts when she talked with her daughter. Yeah, I know. It's a cold. What do they call it? Trough. That is the upper level trough of cold air. Hang on a second here. Really? Hold on. What'd you do, Rex?
Say good morning, dirty face.
Came in the front door.
What a morning. Just
good morning, Athena. Look at her.
She
She's
didn't
all
get to
worked
say
up
hi.
this morning. Look at her. She's coming over to see me.
Yeah,
buddy.
she didn't get to say hi to you. Can't walk in and not say hi.
I love this dog.
She's a good dog.
Listen, if you ever get to the point where you want to part with Athena,
Absolutely not.
no, can
I
you
would
just
pull you
listen?
apart first.
Just listen to my question. If you ever want to get to the point where this little puppy has pushed your nerves and your patience far enough, please call me. Okay, that
No
might
way.
happen. You don't know. This could happen.
What would happen?
That you might get tired of this dog.
Absolutely. I do get tired of her.
Yeah, but you might want to give
And
her
then she
up.
comes up, and then she snuggles, and you can't stay mad at her. She's got a dirty face, smelly breath because she just
I don't care.
got done eating her wet food.
What is that? My phone or yours?
Oh, sorry. My bad.
Good morning, buddy.
Morning, man.
I have genuinely missed you.
I miss you too, man.
Genuinely. And I want to give you a big old ass grab.
No.
Hug.
No.
Why?
Come here.
Brenda's not going to mind. It's a week without you is significant for me. And I've really missed you. I really have. Ask Sherilyn if you don't believe me. She'll tell. No, I'm serious. She'll tell you. I don't. What
A lot of people that don't miss me, I can tell you that.
Oh, sure there are. Sure, I'm sure there's a few that haven't missed me either, buddy. Listen, I'm getting a lot of heat this morning, saying that it was a super dick move of me yesterday to. I don't know if you caught the show, but G was in here, and I got him a cup of coffee. And
Wish somebody had got me a coffee.
well, I
running
was
late.
I was going to this morning, but yesterday G was in here. I got him a cup of coffee. Coffee was $1.25, and I told him that he owed me $1.25 plus 25% tariff, so $1.56. And he was pissed. He was pissed. He threw the coffee on the floor and everything. He was pissed. He went out and got me some microphone cables that I needed, which were $15, and he said that I owed him $15 plus
Tariff.
50%. No, he doubled it, bastard.
50% no, 100% would double it, right?
Well, no, no, he doubled my 25% tariff.
Oh
on his
yeah,
coffee.
yeah. That retaliatory.
It was retaliatory, so that I owed him like $22.
So fuck that dude. What did you do? How much he did? 50.
I did 25%.
104.
What?
Show him. Now he did 104.
Wait till his ass comes in here next time. That's exactly what are we up to now? 145%, I think.
Something ridiculous.
It's
Just
something like.
stupid.
Well, China matched it this morning.
So
125%.
I know, and it's funny watching the mental gymnastics trying to explain this stupid shit.
What a fantastic description, because that's exactly what it is. It's a roller coaster.
Nobody knows what he's doing except him, and I don't even think so he's a populist, and so whatever somebody puts in his ear, he's like, oh, I'm going with that. And so, but
maybe he puts his own stuff in his own ear.
Yeah. So we watch it. We go up. We go down. We go up. We go down. And everybody's like, he's a fucking genius. Look at the stock market rise. Oh, don't worry about it. It's the art of the deal. As it comes down, everything's going to be great. Oh, look at this. But while this chaos and while everybody's paying attention to this and of the ups and the downs of the stock market and the trillions of dollars being lost in a daily move, look at our gold prices. Our gold right now is over $3,100 an ounce.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it is. So what does that mean? We are not on the gold standard.
Okay.
We're not on a petrol standard. We're on a fiat debt system is what our economy runs on. But we still gauge our worth of our dollar by how many dollars it takes to buy an ounce of gold. If you want to know what your dollar was worth back in the 1920s.
Yeah, it's the barometer, isn't it?
Yes, you go and you figure it out, because that is something that never changes.
Yeah, right.
Is how many of these $1 bills does it take? So the higher gold goes up, meaning the less our dollar's worth.
Yeah.
And this is crazy.
Paul was saying that he's got some gold. I probably shouldn't make that announcement publicly, but Paul Brody, did I just say his last name? God
yeah, in
damn
his
it.
address.
Oh,
223 Churchill.
No, he's saying he's got some precious metals too. So
yeah, I mean,
it's amazing, man.
And best time to sell them is when the economy's fucking tanking.
Yeah,
because that's when it's worth the most. But then, so what do? You trade it for a big pile of worthless money?
You think this is all strategy?
No.
Tariff and
Absolutely
then
not.
see how the
So his main economist, Peter Navarro. He's okay. So, Jared Kushner, during his first term there, or whatever, Jared Kushner was tasked to find an economist for Donald. So he went through Amazon, and he found a book that was written by Peter Navarro and this other guy.
Yeah,
and so you notice Peter Navarro doing these interviews. He's always referencing these world-renowned. He's always referencing expert economists.
Yes.
Okay. The expert economist is his pseudonym for his fucking author of his book. He's his own expert economist. Why do you think Elon's on there going, "You're a fucking idiot. You're dumber than a brick"? Because Elon's not stupid, and he sees it too. He's like, so now the EU, everybody, China, all them people, now they're making our bonds and treasuries worth nothing. So it doesn't. So what that means to us as the United States is we don't. People don't trust our money. They don't want to invest in us. They don't. China is our biggest creditor. So basically, we just told our bank to go fuck themselves. And so they're like, well, we'll just sell off all your bonds because they're not going to be worth anything. So there's so much more going on than just the stock market going up and down in these daily. The whole stock market thing. That's just so those politicians can make a shit ton of money in a day. You see them all in the Oval Office, all those billionaires sitting there, and he's like, "Well, that guy just made $900 million today."
Yeah.
Really? Whatever, man.
I want to, being the owner of Barslow Construction,
Yes.
I want to speak with you about some of the materials that are going to be affected by these rising tariffs. Lumber, steel, and glass are the concern right now.
So your windows, your steel beams that go in for your garages,
Right.
Your steel beams that run up your flooring systems, all of your lumber that builds your homes. The thing is, it's the biggest effect is the consumer. I'm still going to work. Old Eddie Barslow used to tell me this. He goes, you know how you know when the economy is good or bad in this business?
You have said this before on the air here, and I think this is really fascinating.
So the way Eddie Barslow explained, old Eddie, he lived through the Depression and shit like that. When you learn a trade, this is very, very important for people. If you're a genius and you're a really smart guy, don't get into trades. Do something smart. Use your brain for that. Other people let me back up. I'm not saying use your skills appropriately. If you're really, really book smart and you can teach people and stuff like that, then go ahead. Then go be a professor, be a biotech guy, be a doctor, be a lawyer. Don't waste that source. If you don't have that like that, but you have that ethic, that work drive, then learn a trade, because then you can make as much money as those doctors, those lawyers, with hard work and ethic.
Sure.
You know what I mean? We still can achieve that. So
that's one of the
it's still a trade, whether you're a doctor, whether you're a lawyer. A doctor's is a trade, obviously.
I think that's one of the
trade.
That's one of the biggest regrets that I have in my life, is that when I was in my early teens, that I didn't grab a trade and learn it well.
If nothing at all, just to learn a trade so you don't get screwed over.
Sure, exactly. So you don't get screwed over. Yes.
That people, I can't just walk into your house and be like, "Oh, Jesus, that main carrying beam, we got to tear your whole house down and rebuild it from scratch."
Right, exactly.
And then another guy comes on and goes, "Who told you that? Your sheetrock cracked."
And it's plumbing, it's heating, it's electrical, but it's also automotive. My God. What I know how to do on my car is I like to drive it, and I like to ride my motorcycle. But other than that, somebody else is going to be working on it and fixing it, and it's not going to be me. I'll tell you that right now. But everybody and their brother is talking about these rising tariffs. And
so right back to how you know if the economy is bad in my business, because I have a trade. Because no matter what, even if everything collapses, I'm still needed, because I can barter, I can trade.
Yeah.
So when the economy is doing really good, we're doing kitchens, we're remodeling bathrooms, we're doing all of the cosmetic stuff.
This is what you've learned from Eddie.
Oh yeah, well this is, and being in the business myself for years, but you can really. So no, we're not going to hire on new people and stuff like that, because we have to try to keep costs down to be competitive also. When the economy's bad, we're doing a ton of roofs. We're doing the things. We do a shit ton of roofs.
Interesting.
Because it doesn't matter what the economy's doing. When your roof is leaking down on your head, you have to find a way to fix it.
Sure. Wow.
So that's when you come into more emergency jobs and stuff like that. A lot less.
But not to say that Barslow is not going to be building decks this summer.
Oh, no.
Because you will.
Rich people will always be rich.
Local construction companies and nonprofit organizations trying to chip away at Vermont's ongoing housing crisis are paddling upstream right now.
Yep. I have a solution for that.
Oh boy.
And I'm not gonna. No, we're talking to some out-of-state investors about building communities up here. Affordable, not low-income housing, affordable communities. I would like to see a mixed space of. You know who does it? Fectos.
Yeah.
Fectos has I drove through that the other day. They have a beautiful development.
I know
up
they
there.
do. Beckley Hill.
Yeah, but
Have you seen? They're breaking ground again up there.
Well, so if you come across Beckley Hill and you go across from the Beckley Hill way, you come right out across the street from my son's house right out there.
yeah.
So that
Yes.
one that we just finished.
Yeah.
But
What a beautiful area too.
yeah.
I mean, it really is.
So I would love to do a development. The only thing that I want to do, I just want to do it a little bit different because we want to have houses that are like $225,000, brand new homes for people. You know, a simple basic ranch. Even if we could get a good cruise of subcontractors with the right investors, I think we could probably get the houses under 200. Well, let's just say
you know
once we get over all this, then in a tariff thing. But I mean, we'd be a ways away from.
You know what I've
developing
seen
anyway.
on Route 1? Ogunquit, Wells, York, all along the coast there in Maine. Beautiful area.
Oh yeah.
You know what
We
I've-
drive up there.
You know what I've seen on Route 1? Containers stacked on top of each other, turned into apartments.
Yeah.
Beautified on the outside. I mean, they make them look like they're not containers, but they're containers, and they're stacked on top.
Right.
Amazing.
Yeah. I
know
I really don't.
That's
think,
never going to happen in Barrie. I understand, but
I don't know. I think a couple things have to happen. I think there has to be a little bit of deregulation here in Vermont. I think we've really overregulated the market, and that has added to the cost immensely. So the amount of inspectors, permits, and everything, we're getting close. I mean, we're getting close to the California, the New York Cities when it comes to our regulation. I think we should be rolling back some of these I don't believe in burning the system down.
Yep.
Okay. I don't, but I think that we need to definitely start. Somebody needs to sit down with these politicians and say, hey, this is the economic impact you're having on everybody. It's not just the business owner. They think like, well, we're going to regulate because the business owners are taking advantage of the people.
yeah. But you talking to the politicians, they're going to say, yeah, I understand. Yeah, but we're not making the call here. Trump is.
No, I'm talking about our local politicians.
All right. Okay.
No. I could care. We have no effect on what's going on down there. We don't even have a voice. People don't. You got a few people being represented and a lot of people not. But
Yeah.
I'm talking about locally.
Okay.
A big reason why we don't have the supply and demand. First of all, we don't have enough houses on the market, and then the regulations in order to just fix things up or build for commercial purposes. It's a huge added cost. And it's, I don't know. And it's basically, so those costs, all of those permits, all of that money goes to run that freaking department. So I don't know. I don't, but like I said, I don't think they should go and get rid of the state fire marshal or this local city inspectors. I don't think that we should tar and feather them and hang them from the highest apartment building. But I do think that we could start dismantling and deregulating some of this redundant stuff. Like, why do we have to have an electrical inspector in Barrie City and a state electrical inspector both come and inspect the same exact thing? Is our city inspectors not good enough that their word is not good? Is the state inspector doesn't trust them? Like, why do we have to have a redundant inspection?
So glad you said that.
I mean, nothing against Nick or anything like that. That's the regulations, but what's the blonde headed kid there? Is it Art? Yeah, Art there. Those two going down there. But everything that they are looking at, the state's also looking at too. You have to have them. And there's more permits there. You got the building permits. Now you got the state permits. You got the city inspectors. You got the state inspectors. This is where we talked about you could turn for a few $100s, you could replace a toilet, you could replace a sink, and you could replace the overhead light in that bathroom for probably $500. But now you need a licensed electrician, you need a licensed plumber, and you need a carpenter. And all three of them have to pull permits, building permits, and all three of them have to get state permits. So now you just turned it into like a $5,000 job and try to coordinate 3 different trades for the stupidest, smallest little bathroom.
Taylor just posted something saying affordable housing is scary, and putting the word affordable, of course, in quotations. My family couldn't even afford some of these uninhabitable contract specials as is.
100%. I agree. And I just don't think there's a need for it.
You know what gets me is this morning I wake up to the news that Vermont organizations and the state attorney general and the Sierra Club here in Vermont are all worked up about President Trump's efforts to regulate greenhouse gas emissions.
Okay. So
And it just seems like, I understand the environment is important, but sometimes it seems like
they go overboard.
The state of Vermont we're inside of a burning building, and we're focused on.
Man,
we need to prioritize.
I can
here.
understand, but I can understand it. Our state is fucking beautiful, dude. But wait a minute, just go down the road to New Hampshire.
I know. I agree with you.
And so
I do.
I do love our state, and I do want to preserve it, but it costs us money to do that. And it's just, I don't know. I think my biggest problem is getting the government involved in anything.
Yeah.
They're not there. They're not a problem solver. They're a problem maker. If you want to compound a problem, ask the government to step in and fix it for you. They'll definitely fix it.
Well, I mean, they're talking about New York and Vermont with, big initiatives to hold companies accountable.
So why don't we do this?
And
why don't we do this? Why don't we stop saying stupid shit? Why don't we stop trying to solve a problem with taxes and taking our money? Why don't we, as adults, this is what I would do if I had my kids. I would educate them. I would sit them down. I don't care if it's a public service announcement. I would much rather see my government spend ads on explaining what's happening to our earth, and then let us as adults decide to take care of it. Because I'm sure if adults instead, because if they were just educated, if they knew what was going on, that people would take it upon themselves. They wouldn't ask the government, because the government's solution to greenhouse is to tax me and you, and because that's all they have. They're like, okay, the more green stuff you use, we'll give you less taxes. The more stuff that isn't green, we're going to tax you more on. That's how they try to regulate us. That's how they do that. And I'm just against that, because that doesn't, as soon as you start taxing people, you're going to have one side or the other that says it's not a good idea. So isn't it so much cheaper to take out television ads, have actual public broadcasting station, several things like that, have them put this educational pieces out on, hey, this is what these scientists are working on. This is what they have found. This is where we believe we are at, whether you believe it or not. But we've gone through some really quick changes in the past 100 years that we've never seen our earth go through in the whole history of the earth, or as long as we've recorded it.
Right.
We can do soil samples, we can do everything, but since the Industrial Revolution, this is the fastest we've ever seen this happen. But that's asking the government to solve that problem. Fuck. We can solve the problem if we had scientists come out and tell normal people and explain it as if you're explaining it to a 5-year-old, so everybody can understand it.
Yesterday, Congress progressed with a budget plan that proposes $1 trillion in cuts, including reductions to FEMA. And that has raised a lot of concern, not just here in the Granite City, but throughout our entire state.
So I don't know. I honestly don't know if that's just a kind of fear mongering, because Kentucky just had a big flood, and Andy Beshear, the governor down there, is a Democratic governor, and he had a lot of praise for FEMA right now. He said that FEMA was they showed up, they were huge help, and things were running really good. And I think they already did huge cuts in FEMA, didn't they?
They have, and now more. Peter Welch is speaking out about it. I am not aware of how many homes just here in Barrie.
How many times
permanently
should the government pay
abandoned
for the same house to be flooded over and over?
Well,
how many times should taxpayers' money pay for the same house to be flooded over and over? Like the whole thing in
you heard
New Orleans.
Have you heard how many homes here in the Granite City have been permanently abandoned?
Oh, I have no clue.
A lot.
Parking lots, perfect. More parking for downtown, walking, setting up our transit system, bus system.
As important as projecting the environment is, because of how small Vermont is in the grand scheme of things, anything we do wouldn't have any noticeable impact unless others join us to increase the effectiveness, says Taylor.
Yeah.
Interesting comment.
Yeah. I'm more on our government spending money on education and educating everybody else. And then once they're educated, if people still beg the government to fix it, then so be it. But at least let them have an educated choice on whether or not our government should touch this problem and how they're going to touch it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's I don't know.
Yeah.
But then you have a whole bunch of people that are critically thinking. You have a whole bunch of people that are educated, and that's probably pretty scary for a fucking politician.
Another big story that is buzzing in Vermont this morning is the one of Caitlin Sawyer, the mother from Rutland, who is awaiting sentencing after pleading guilty to child cruelty following a near fatal overdose of her 2-year-old child in January, who suffered a seizure and tested positive for cocaine and fentanyl. Cocaine and fentanyl.
That fucking kid was playing with it. I had a friend of mine.
Narcan was administered, and, oh, God. 2 years old, buddy. 2 years old.
I wish, you know what?
This is a huge story here.
Yeah, it's huge, but those of us that have grown up around this it's just not surprising.
Well, Sawyer's attorney is saying that her conduct was reckless but unintentional. She'll be sentenced next week in Vermont U.S. Courts here. So,
and you know what? I feel bad for the kid. I really, really do.
Yeah,
man.
right.
I really do. I've got that young fella in there. Thank you, Kidder's Interior.
Throw love at him.
Yeah, absolutely. Kidder's Interior. They sponsored that young man there for 3 months.
Yep.
Up at the gym.
Yep.
So
this is such a great story.
Yeah,
I love this story.
He's a good kid, man.
Kidder's is basically
he was watching. Yeah, he watched the podcast and he was like, hey, man, because we both grew up poor and shit like that. And he's like, I wish somebody had given me that kind of opportunity to train like that for free.
So they're sponsoring this kid.
Yeah, they paid for 3 months of his gym membership. So we got another person that Patrick Lucy, he pitched in to help pay for the kid's gi. So the kid has been there every single class. He shows up every single class.
And there's nobody that's like threatening him that he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to show up for every class.
Yes, he does.
No. I'm saying he could choose to not do that.
Yeah, and then he wouldn't get the scholarship.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he would lose his scholarship.
But that's my point. That's
He
what I'm
comes in
saying.
and it's funny because he's a little skinny guy, and I know he doesn't eat enough because they just don't understand nutrition and stuff like that. When you're working out, you have to eat.
Right.
So what I do is I play with him and I'm like, bro, you better start bringing me a fucking peanut butter sandwich.
Or I'm gonna break your legs.
Yeah, 100%. I'm like, I'm gonna choke you out every day that you don't bring me a peanut butter sandwich.
Does he bring it to you?
So I was like, I want you to bring one for me, and I want you to bring one for you because I'm a little fat kid in heart,
What
and I
about
want
me?
that peanut butter sandwich.
I'll eat a
So
stale,
every day he
I'll
does.
eat
He
a
brings
stale peanut butter and jelly sandwich any day.
he brings a peanut butter jelly. I make him because so he gets there at like 4:30 and tries to help out with the little kids' free MMA games there, and then he stays for all of the classes. He's there from like 4:30 till almost 8-9 o'clock at night.
I love it.
And you can see him. He drags ass. He's just so tired coming from school because he's whatever he is, 11 years old, whatnot.
Sure.
And he'll be dragging ass, but he just a smile on his face.
I love it.
Yeah,
A couple of comments here that I need to get to. Chuck says we need to go back to old school where states took care of themselves and the government did what they were told.
Yeah.
Linda says,
But and I agree with that. But I think that's a slow process. I don't think that you sacrifice a lot of normal people's lives to burn the system down.
yeah. Chuck also says, I'm sorry. I'm probably going to be hated for this, but we're at a point in time.
Don't worry, Chuck. I am hated every day, buddy.
We're at a point in time where if you need a driver's license to drive a vehicle, you probably should have a parent.
Oh, I already know.
A parent license to be a good parent.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, I've said that.
Seriously.
Like, I can't believe, anybody can just pop out kids and have, that's scary. I honestly, and okay, not so much a license because fuck the government. I really, but I think 100% there should be parenting classes. We need okay, back in the day, we kept our families together. Mother, father, grandparents, we all lived together. Guess what? We all learned valuable lessons from those people. Those lessons are not being taught anymore. So the parenting classes, learning how to raise your little brothers, your little sisters, that doesn't happen anymore because people are having one kid. Both parents are working. Nobody's showing them how to parent. Nobody's showing them how to grow up. We don't have time because we are too busy in life working to get to retirement, to spend a couple years before we die, having fun. You know what I mean? That's our culture right now.
Our culture is that our priorities.
If you're the working class, that's your
fucked
job.
up.
You are the Israelites in Egypt. Yeah. That's what you are. You're the slave class. Work for these people. Yeah. So, I mean,
yeah.
And the more that I see it is crazy. This whole thing about our money drives me nuts. And I think the biggest thing is it's the poor people and the old people and the illegals been defrauding the government and defrauding the taxpayers. One thing that Donald Trump is so good at is pointing out an enemy. He can make an enemy and everybody be like, oh yeah, that guy's the enemy. But so
interesting.
And he's good at that. He's good at dividing people in his own cabinet. Look at Elon and Peter Navarro. But this whole thing, they've made it out that the Social Security people, there's all this wasted fraud. But the reality is, what have we been doing for 20 years?
Yeah.
Borrowing money from China to fight wars all around the world, Iraq, Afghanistan. So before the start of Afghanistan, because we invaded Afghanistan first, ran out of places to bomb, so we decided we needed to go out of Iraq because we could get more, it would look better on TV. So we fought these wars and we had to borrow the money from China. So for 20 years, we've been borrowing money from China to fight wars. Our national debt, our national deficit was a little under $5 trillion before the start of the war. We have a revenue of $5.6 trillion a year. That's just what we get in on tax money is $5.6 trillion. If you deduct the wars and COVID, we would still have probably, okay, say we were making, let's just do basic math, and I don't know, and I could be off. Of course, I'm not a economist, but you just take 5.6 trillion that we get every year. You take 4.8 trillion, and now let's take the offset, the profit or the surplus, and times that times 20 years. It ends up being we make like $6 trillion when you deduct the wars off of there.
Yeah.
So
deduct the wars. Yeah.
yeah, we have a $6 trillion surplus, not a deficit.
Yeah.
A surplus. So now you add in COVID, that was another $3 trillion. So you got to take that out, $3 trillion. Now let's add in free health care. Now we are at a $1 trillion surplus at the spending levels we're at right now. So who's defrauding the government? Is it the poor people in Social Security, or is it that military machine? You know how many, the billionaires started the wars? The billionaires made a bunch of money during them wars because, I mean, they were the patriots. They had the government contracts. And now why don't they do their patriotic duty and just pay a little more in taxes until our war debt's paid off? Because we make enough in revenue. Then everybody could get tax cuts. Everybody. Like, why not? Why is it all falling on the backs of the people that went and actually fought the war? Those are the people, they want to raise our taxes.
John is calling this Rexonomics. But no, it's fascinating to hear this. It's fascinating to hear this. Listen,
I mean, it's simple. It's easy enough to look up. What was our deficit at the beginning of the war? It was just under $5 trillion. What is our revenue? $5.6 trillion. Okay, we now so it started. We only had a deficit of 5.6, and now it's 36 trillion. We added $31 trillion in debt during our 21-year wars. And people think that we were just in Afghanistan. Oh no, we're in Afghanistan. We're in Pakistan. We're in Yemen. We're in Africa. We're in Iran, Syria. We're everywhere. We had people deployed for fucking 20 years, man. And we had to borrow that money to do that. And remember the bills? Remember all of those bills, those spending bills? And if you said something, you were like, hey, man, I think that's an outrageous military budget, they would go, you unpatriotic motherfucker. You're trying to send troops in with no bullets. That's all you're trying to do. No, I'd rather not spend $10 trillion on a fucking aircraft that will probably be obsolete by the time you guys finish it.
yeah.
You know, and you were never allowed to vote against it. That was the thing. And so we had all of these go back and look at for the past 20 years, the budget, the spending budget bills, where all the money was going. It's crazy.
When I was taking a break from life and trying to relax, I had somebody.
I should have put my glasses on for that speech.
I had, and I wasn't. I wasn't on the phone. I was away. I was unplugged, disconnected from reality. I had somebody say to me, "Are you paying attention to what's going on right now? Trump is imposing tariffs on every single country in the world, and he's threatening Iran that if they continue with their nuclear expansion, that they're going to have their ass handed to them." And I'm like, wow, man. It's, and I also had, and I wanted to say this to you today, that over the last couple of days, I have had some friends who have said to me, JD, don't even bother talking about this on the air. All of this stuff with the tariffs and Iran and everything, China and everything, this is all just scare tactics. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's all bullshit. What say you about this? Is there some? Do you think that this is just inflated scare tactics? And
how is it inflated?
I understand.
It's the stock market actually lost $10 trillion. That's a real thing. The dollar is tanking. The bond market. The Europeans are getting ready to sell our fucking bonds for peanuts.
I'm
You know what
just
that's
saying
going to do to our dollar?
I
Those
know.
are real things. That is not just a scare tactic. We're watching it live.
Thank you.
We're
Thank
watching it live. It's the same thing with the protesters. 5 million people protested. I don't care if you think they're paid George Soros protesters. When it comes to that, is a real problem for whatever party is in power.
Yeah.
When 5 million people come out and protest,
Right.
there's probably those 5 million people are probably connected to another 5-10 million people. Those people are not voting. Those are the people that are going to go out and vote. Those are the people that are going to, that is a real issue for whoever is in power.
This morning, in just about 15 minutes at 10 a.m., Bernie Sanders is asking Vermonters to weigh in on the massive Medicaid cuts that the Trump administration and House Republicans want to roll back. The federal program for health care for seniors and people with disabilities.
That dude is super proactive and passionate when it comes to seniors and Medicaid and prescription. That guy, there's no one that fights harder for our elderly than that dude right there.
Vermonters either love him or hate him. There's no in between.
The thing is I don't agree with a lot of his policies. I really don't. But as a human being, he's a super passionate in what he does, and he's a hardworking guy. I've never seen it's hard to see. You see senators and politicians and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And what do? You got Matt Gaetz looking like Beavis running around fucking Congress, but this guy's out. He's getting on buses and taking elderly across the border to buy medicine for him.
Yeah.
Love him or hate him, the guy actually, he's doing what his constituents want. He's working for them, and he's super passionate and really, really proactive.
Sanders.senate.gov is the site if you want to be watching the live town hall meeting that he's going to do this morning.
For him.
In about 15 minutes to talk about this. And,
there is scare tactics inside of there. No matter what happens, Donald Trump's going to claim victory.
Yeah.
I won, just like he did yesterday. You backed off of the day that he did the 90-day pause. It was the same thing. Our bond market was tanking. He had people calling him his donors. Of course he backed off. And then he's like, see, I just won. Market's great today. It's just crazy. But then on the left, you have them absolute sky is falling.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But I don't know. I guess it depends on who you are, whether or not the sky is falling. If you're pretty rich and you make money on the stock market, I guess the sky's not falling for you.
I want to shift gears, and of course we're going to jump back into this, but I want to ask you if you, at some point, eventually pulled your head out of your ass and watched the Chris Peralt episode with me here on Aired Out.
I have not. Dude, I rarely have that kind of time. I mean, there's so much research to be done on Pornhub, Xvideo. My research is never ending.
We're setting the record straight here. You're telling Chris Peralt right now that you don't have time for him. Is that what you're saying? Is that yes or no?
That's a yes, because I actually avoided him Wednesday, ran away out of the gym. Him and Chris King. I always troll Chris King, but Chris King was warming up. I was like, shit, he's ready today. I'm going home early.
Dude, Peralt was
King Real Estate.
Amazing on the air with me.
He's a super
He's
good
such
dude.
a humble dude.
Oh,
I'm
guess what? We started getting fucking law enforcement coming in now.
All right. Tell me what's going on with Battle and Berry 17.
Battle and Berry 17.
And talk to me about the law enforcement. What's happening? They're coming in
June 7th. We're going to have Battle and Berry. We're looking for an opponent for Chris Peralt. We'd like to have him defend his title.
Right here.
Yeah, we want to have him.
No. Right here.
What? Right here what?
Me.
Yeah, you. What?
I'll be his opponent.
Yeah, okay. All right, so.
Me and Athena.
Chris is about to be 5-0 then. That'd be great. So one of the things is Chris has to stay active. He has I don't know what he talked about, but I know he has a goal of going up into like the UFC or the PFL, GFL, one of them guys there. Yeah, he's super close, but he needs like 3-4 more fights. He needs like 4 more fights to get looked at, because there's a ton of guys in the United States that are 4-0, 3-0. But there's not very many that are 8-0, 9-0.
Right. And one of the things we talked about is how the next morning your phone was ringing, and man, there's others that want to. They're looking to you to pimp him out.
So the problem right now is he just knocked out the number 1 professional middleweight in New England, Northeast, and so there's no point in fighting anybody here in New England anymore. So we're actually reaching out to Tennessee, Alabama, and trying to look at their number 1 guys to come up here and fight. Because, I mean, next 4 fights, could you imagine his next 4 fights are all number 1 guys from different states and he beats them up too?
Sure.
Where do you think Chris Brault's going to be?
Yeah.
100%. The other thing that we're doing is we're sponsoring Eric Bloodaxe Olson. Donnybrook is. Okay. We just sponsored him. He is going to be in BYB Bare Knuckle down in New Mexico, June 14th, I think it was.
Really?
Yeah, so you see the Donnybrook on TV because he's got a T-shirt all made with our logo on it.
Tell us about the latest developments with Donnybrook. You and I really need to catch up here. I mean,
we're still in the process with the lawyers, a betting online site. I actually have a conference call with a bunch of lawyers down in Virginia so we can get this stuff taken care of. Chris Wilmore. Yeah, it's still moving. It's a slow process. When you're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars, it's a huge process.
Chris Wilmore, tell us about him and Street Beefs.
Chris Wilmore is the founder of Street Beefs. He has invested into Donnybrook, help with the digital platform. We're also helping him with his digital platform. Mm-hmm. So Taylor has the mobile app already all made. We have a mobile app, so you'll have your DBFP and you'll be able to watch it on your phone, all sorts of stuff. Then we're also going to do the television station. So we're going to really, really expand our digital platform.
Oh, my God.
Everywhere.
Buddy.
And we're going to introduce Bare Knuckle MMA June 7th. Professional Bare Knuckle MMA. I have a guy out of Team Link, 185 pounds. Yeah, I think that's going to be a big hit right there. And if everything goes well, I think we are going to have John Pena back, too, to defend his. I don't know if we're going to have John Pena back. I think we're going to have we'll probably do John in the fall there. We'll have him co-main event. We'll see what happens. We'll see how this show goes. That last show, we sold 785 tickets just at the door.
Wow, dude.
Yeah. Just at the door.
Wow.
So that was a good show. That was a really good show.
I hope Barry is paying attention to this to see how huge this is at our Barry Auditorium.
Yeah.
Massive.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, lot of fun.
My God. June 7th. All right. Are you looking for sponsors?
Always looking for sponsors.
Where do we go?
Call me.
Guards, the mat, where? Corners?
We have spots. So you can get anything. You can get a VIP table. We have a monthly subscription so that, like Kidder's Interior, Gabriel Cole at the Source, those guys.
Yeah.
We have monthly payments that they can pay, and so that even they can afford to advertise.
Yeah.
So they get a VIP table. They get advertising at our show. We also we have the ability to print banners to hang at the show. We have stickers to put at the show. We can put it on the inside, the outside. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunity. We're always looking for a big sponsor for gear. That's our fight gear that we put out.
Okay.
And so we have our logo that'll be their logo. We can work stuff out. Right. There's lots of opportunity to advertise, to sponsor. If you're a business with a lot of traffic and you don't have money to sponsor, but you're willing to put a banner up inside of your store for us to advertise locally, that'd be great too. We trade that way too.
Don't wait on this. June 7th is going to be
front
here.
row VIP tables are already sold out.
Really?
First day that we opened up the tables, front row sold out.
Did Brummert get one of them? Glenn
I
Brummert?
think so. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, 100%.
The guy's addicted now.
Oh yeah.
Look at what you've done, Rex.
Oh, I know, man. You know what I'd like to do? You know what I was thinking? Do you know Rick Lafayette? Someone tag Rick Lafayette.
Of course.
Someone tag Rick.
I was chatting with Rick yesterday. Did you see the picture of him on the Harley?
Yeah, of course.
Oh my God.
So
And Bon his son was talking with me this morning.
that's what I would like to do is I would like to do a halftime show with Bond.
Do you want me to put him on the air right now?
Fucking call him. Let's ask him, see if we could get him for a halftime show. I love to support local dudes. And if we could get another local singer, like we've had Tim Brick up there, we've had Jamie Lee Thurston, but why not? I really like Bond's music and I like what he's been doing. I think
Bond's
he's fucking great.
He's unbelievable.
And he did karate. So this is perfect. This is the perfect match. How could he ever say no? And we're going to put him on the spot right here on the air.
Let me see if I can put him on.
Rick's probably not watching because he's working right now. He works up at Spruce.
Let's see if we can get Bon on.
He's moving down. That'll get Rick at my show. Me and Rick, I harass the shit out of Rick because he is crazy about politics too.
All right. Let's see if I can connect with him.
Come here, baby.
Bon Lafayette.
Oh. There's
Hey, what's good, JD?
Hey, here we go. Bon Lafayette, you are live on Aired Out this morning, brother.
How are we doing, everybody?
We're doing fine. Listen, I'm so glad you answered it, and I'm so glad you're live with us right now. We are hugely putting you on the spot, and I hope you go back and watch and listen to this episode, because I have Rex Thompson here from Donnybrook Fight Promotions, and we're talking about the Battle in Barrie 17, which is coming up June 7th. And Rex, why don't you go ahead and ask him?
Bon. So I follow your dad. I'm friends with your dad. I harass the shit out of your dad every chance I get. But something that I've always followed is we've been watching you progress with your music, and we are always trying to promote local people from Vermont, stuff like that. And we would love to have you come up and do a halftime show at our Battle in Barrie 17, our June 7th, if you're available.
June 7th. I mean, I'm going to have to check the schedule, but off the top of my head, I don't think I have anything going on.
Bro, let's set this up. The last halftime show, we had a professional wrestling match. We always try to do something a little different. We've had Tim Brick up there. We've had Jamie Lee Thurston. But I've been following your music. We really, really like it. And we would love to have you do like a debut show or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know
man.
how many shows you've ever done or if you've ever done any shows, but this will be in front of like 1,500 people.
Yeah, no, that sounds really cool. I would love to do something like that. And any chance I can get an excuse to come home.
Yeah,
baby.
absolutely. I'm glad, and I bet your dad would love to see you anyway. And plus, I know you used to do karate, so you get to watch the show. We have a professional production crew. You'll have beautiful video. We have a 40-foot screen there.
Can we give Rick and Bon a free ticket?
Oh, 100%,
All
of
right.
course. Now we'll give Rick a VIP seat right up front so he can watch his son. Of course.
Dude.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. I'll give him two seats at the VIP table. That's where they bring him waitresses and stuff like that, so he can bring a lady friend or boyfriend, whatever he wants to bring.
And Bond's going to bring his fiance.
Perfect. Yeah, we always have seating.
Dude, if you say no, I'm going to break your fucking legs.
Hey, how
man.
do you have a national anthem you do?
I haven't done it in front of anybody before. It's just some hard notes to hit, and I want to do it justice if I was going to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, because if you wanted to open the show with the national anthem, we could always do that, and then have you up at the halftime show.
If you wanted someone to really kill the national anthem, you'd want to get my father on stage for that.
Oh yeah!
Damn.
Absolutely. I never even. Your dad's got a killer voice,
Bro,
dude,
you need to seriously up the fucking ticket price right there.
That would be great.
If Rick is going to sing, yes.
Yeah. You think you could talk your dad into it?
Oh, man. I don't think I'd have to try at all.
Okay, perfect. Let's plan this shit. June 7th.
Oh, my God.
We'll have Rick Lafayette do the national anthem, and then we'll have Bond do the halftime show.
Dude, you have to say yes, Bon.
Oh, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'm down.
Perfect. We will have
I
an
gotta check my
edited
schedule, but I
version.
don't see any issue with that.
We'll have an edited version of just you playing because we'll have a cameraman just on you.
Yeah.
And so what I'll need from you is if you have any videos that you want to play that you want playing in the background while you're singing, we have a 40-foot screen and we can input. Yes.
Yeah, I'll talk to my producer, my best friend Caleb, and I know we have a bunch of stuff that we can play with. But I do hate to cut this short.
No
but
problem.
I am at my job right now doing electrical work, so I got to get back to doing that. But I'm so glad you guys called. It's awesome talking to you.
All right, buddy. Take care.
Hey, just real quick, new album?
New album, Broken Records. 9 days to go. I believe 9 days.
Oh, we're gonna do that June 7th, right?
How do we get it?
Yeah, absolutely.
How do we get it, buddy? How do we get it?
You need to set up a table at our show and sell CDs or whatever.
Oh, guaranteed.
Yeah, it actually. I've been. I need to get some merch. I've been toying. I need to get some shirts and some sweatshirts and things like that. So I'll definitely. I'll have to talk to you guys some more.
How do we buy this album, buddy? How do we buy it?
So once it gets, you can pre-save it right now. I did share the link on Facebook. I can send that to you as well.
Please do.
But once the album drops, anywhere that you listen to music, you can go and buy it. You can listen to it. You can stream it. But the biggest thing that always helps me out is sharing it and uploading it and letting people know that my music's out there.
Yep.
Absolutely. Well,
touch,
I'll tell you what, there'll be 1,500 people knowing that your music's out there.
Beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, brother. Get back to work, man. Thanks, buddy.
Work hard, man.
We love you, man.
I appreciate you, JD. It was good talking to you as well, Alex. Or Rex, sorry.
Take care, man.
All right, buddy. Over and out, man. What a great guy.
Yeah,
Shit, that's going to be friggin' awesome. Jesus.
Absolutely.
God.
That's exciting now. We're adding another. Yeah.
It should happen.
Absolutely. That'll be a perfect halftime show. I should probably let my family know that we just booked a halftime show.
Probably should.
I hope they vote on it because I'm only one vote.
Well, we've got a lot of people watching and listening this morning that I think will push that into yes. That's going to be amazing.
You got to stop putting me on the spot. You're going to get me in trouble.
Dude, look at how we're getting. This is amazing. I love stuff like this. They're totally unplanned.
I know. I didn't even think about that, but yeah. I watch his videos and shit, and he's a good kid.
He's
man. He
a
really
really
is
good kid. Did you ever see him and his dad on the air with me?
No.
That episode?
Dude, I hired Rick Lafayette to play at the Moose Club once, and that was the first time I had ever seen him. This was years ago, and I was like, holy shit, that guy.
Yeah.
Like, when it comes to 80s and 90s rock, there is no one.
Yeah, but you know what, though? What's amazing about Rick, by the way, have you seen the picture of him on his bike?
Yeah, of course.
God, what a bike. But anyway, the thing about Rick is how talented he is. He doesn't just think, he believes that his freaking son walks on water, man.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
You know what I mean? He thinks that I think he said on the air that my son can out-sing me any day of the week. Isn't that something else?
Yeah,
though?
no, that's awesome. Well, I mean, you got to think about it is, I don't know what Rick had for training, but Bon grew up with Rick, so it's like.
There's something about Bon Lafayette's voice.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what it is, but the first time that I ever heard it, I can't remember who it was that sent it to me. Damn it, that's going to bother me. But somebody was it was one of Bon's relatives who sent me.
Probably Sarah.
That's who it was.
Sarah.
It was
his
Sarah.
aunt.
Yes,
Yep.
Aunt Sarah.
Yeah, because so Rick Lafayette, I grew up just up the street from Rick.
Okay.
Rick and Sarah, Dick Lafayette,
Sarah.
his dad.
Yes.
Yep.
Sarah,
They were older than I was. I was just their little paper boy. I knew their
Sarah
dad
sends me
better than them.
this link.
Yep.
To one of his songs, one of the first ones that he came out and released. This, I don't know, a year ago or so.
Yeah.
Swear to God, Rex, driving down the road, alone. Song comes on. Couple things going on in the sidelines in life that were weighing on me, I think. And I hear Bon sing for the first time. And it's just a flood of emotions. I mean, it just poured out of me, dude. And I'm like driving down.
That's good. Anytime that you can get something.
Shit. God. I mean, this is
100,000 views. Does he know that you have 1 million views? What? He's sucking peanuts. I like it. He's funny. He something.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway.
Hey, this morning, early morning car accident left of South Burlington without power. Green Mountain Power says that 2,700 people were in the dark early this morning between Spear and Dorset Streets
I got
from
to sleep in.
Kennedy Drive South. Green Mountain Power says lights back on, police are on the scene, and 2,700 people in the dark from that car accident this morning. The other big story, I mentioned this the other day with G. Apple, and I know so many of us have Apple phones, all the rich people, considering shifting its iPhone production to India now to offset the tariff costs. Holy crap. What do you think of that, man? India.
No comment.
Okay. I think it's quite sad.
Yes. Okay, I'll agree.
Yeah.
What are we agreeing on?
The judge is set to...
Hey, who's that guy? Is that guy Carlos or whatever? Or Brando? I've been Brandoed or whatever.
Brandon. Carbo. Yeah. I guess he got in trouble again.
No way.
Yeah.
I'm going to start walking up and down. Nobody ever tries to attack me. And I'm very sad about that. I feel left out.
I'll attack you right now. Verbally. The judge is set to decide today whether or not to proceed with the resentencing hearings for Eric and Lyle Menendez. I don't know if you're paying attention to this story.
Oh, yeah. I watched that. I watched the whole trial thing
I
there.
did too.
Those two fucking punks, man.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess everything happens for a reason, and I
1989.
Yep.
Beverly Hills.
I remember that. But the whole thing,
life in prison without possibility of parole. And here we are.
But the thing is
how many years
the
later?
people they killed, they don't have any chance of parole. I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
It's a life for a life. I don't know. If you took their life, why do you get a chance to live any of yours ever again? They don't.
I know. We got a family of 5 from Spain and the pilot of that helicopter that were all killed.
You know what happened to that?
In New York City.
So
sightseeing helicopter.
Yeah, so I watched the video. I used to be a crew chief. So on top of that, the whole assembly came off.
Yeah,
the whole rotor assembly.
I saw that stuff floating down.
So we know it wasn't the control arms, and we know that the mass nut didn't break up. There's a huge mass nut that has a 600 foot-pounds of torque on the very top of it, and that goes. There's a rod that comes up, a drive shaft that comes up through. There's 2 control arms, and the 4 control arms. Your control arms and your handle your trim, your lift up and down. Okay.
Sure.
There on top. There's a huge mass nut. And it usually takes 2 people with like a 4-foot bar, and it's 600 foot-pounds. And you lock that in there, and then it's there's like these huge cotter pins. Everything on an aircraft either has a cotter pin or a safety wire with a positive safety on it, so that the bolts can never back themselves out. They'll hit the wires.
Right.
So just by seeing that the whole thing came off, that tells me that the mass nut failed, and I don't believe the mass nut broke. I don't believe it was torqued properly, and it came off because the way the whole assembly came off. So then instantly the helicopter flops upside down, and you land heavy side down. If you have other mechanical failures, like your control arm for your trim breaks, what'll happen is your blade will go at such an angle it'll take your tail boom out.
Sure.
It'll smash your tail when a control arm breaks.
Yeah.
But that was the entire assembly, and it was still spinning. When you crash a helicopter in your rotor, we do what's called an auto rotate. What you do is you take all the trim out of your blades. So your blade, in order to create lift, you add trim, and that makes it so that your blades go up. So as you're falling through the air, you take out all the trim. The air coming up through, it's like a fan when the wind blows that doesn't have any power.
Sure.
It keeps the blades moving. So you want the blades to be moving as fast as you can. Then right before you hit, you pull the collective and you add trim back into it, and the blades will bend right up and it'll whop, whop, and it'll slow you down just enough for a hard landing. Usually breaks it hurts, but you'll live through it. And that's what it's called, auto rotating.
So you think this was not an environmental thing? You think this was
absolutely not
mechanical?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, because if it was, it wouldn't have came out as one unit. If you watch it, you can see both the rotors and the centerpiece. It's still rotating through the air.
You know, I know that Sherilyn's not listening this morning, so I will say, I've been wanting to get Lily and I both on a helicopter.
I feel safer on a helicopter than I do
in a car. What about in a car?
In a plane.
What about in a car?
Absolutely. I've flown so much, dude. I've been like 150 feet off the deck hanging out of a Chinook with a minigun.
So what I'm working on right now, I've pretty much given up on the helicopter because...
Why?
Well, have you met Sherilyn? You can't tell Sherilyn what you're going to do with Lily. She's going to... Believe me, dude. You want to see someone beat the shit out of me? There it is right there. I'm taking Lily on a helicopter. Or worse, I took Lily on a helicopter.
JD, grab yourself by your nutsack and say, "Listen, lady." That usually works, right?
Right now, I am working really hard on the hot air balloon ride with Lily.
See, those scare me.
Really?
Yeah. What happens when it fails?
Parachute. You hit the button and the whole balloon turns into a parachute. I don't know.
No, you fall.
I'm working.
You crash, usually light on fire and burn up as you fall down. Hindenburg.
A plane bumped by another on the tarmac at Reagan National Airport, and members of Congress were on board. This American Airlines flight bumped into another American Airlines flight. Not enough people in the towers, and the ones that are up there are working overtime. You would think that Reagan National would just, like, they got to do something. They got to do something, man. And if you can't hire enough people,
then what you do is you delay flights, you stop flights, you raise the price of tickets because there's going to be I don't know, because if you stop flights, you start deducting flights because you don't have enough people. Then what happens? Prices go up. Same thing with supply and demand. When China doesn't buy your beef or soybeans, what happens? You just lost a supplier.
If I were if I were to say to you right now, hey, Rex, me, you, Brenda, Sherilyn, we're going on vacation. We're flying to wherever. We're going to we have a layover at Reagan National. You're telling me your anxiety wouldn't go up a notch?
Bro, no way.
Really?
No. You want me to tell you why?
It's Reagan National, dude.
Nope.
Who the hell wants to have a layover at Reagan National?
Because I feel when it's your time, it's your time.
Woo.
Fate is fate. Fate's going to grab a hold of you.
Whether
I'm sitting here on the couch with Athena or whether I'm in a plane.
I agree with you. I do.
I don't know. That's just my mentality.
There's a couple in New Mexico.
I don't let the fear of death stop me from doing anything.
Good for you.
Well, except water. I am scared of water.
We have a couple in New Mexico that have been rescued from a rental truck in Santa Fe. The driver was cleaning out the rental when he slammed the rear door shut, and people heard voices from inside the back of the truck, and there was a wild police chase, and they found victims inside the truck, and now the driver is being faced with kidnapping charges in a rental.
Evil is everywhere, dude.
Damn.
That's a real
big
thing.
Story right now.
Huh.
Big story.
Huh.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, there's a lot of whacked out shit that's going on.
Always.
It really is. Always.
Always, right, Athena?
Listen, one more time on tickets here. DonnyBrookFightPromotions.com.
Yes.
That's the way to get tickets. That's also the way to learn about being a sponsor.
Yes.
June
Just hit
7th.
up the page direct. You could call me, 802-249-3276. It's Barslow Construction. So, yeah, there's several ways to get a hold of us.
All right.
Oh, the other thing that we're starting to produce, we have a drop shipper. We're going to send out next week, Monday.
What's that?
Oh, flat brim. Donnybrook Fight Promotion hats, train hard, fight easy. It's got our logos on the side, nice flat brims. You order them and they drop ship right to you. They come right to you. Order them right off our website. We'll have it. We're going to start introducing the flat brim. Everything is embroidered. Sweatshirts, all embroidered. Yeah, we're going to introduce that to our website next week.
Dude, thank you for coming in here.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
When is Donnybrook Fight Promotions going to be starting up? Go ahead.
Just tonight. Hey, I know him. Tonight we're gonna have Yamake's Aiki Jiu-Jitsu is not up at Granite City MMA. It's going to be held up at UFAI tonight. 7:00. So
All
anybody that wants to join, we're not open at Granite City. The class is going up to UFAI, United Fighting Arts Institute in South Burlington.
Can I give before we close out this morning, I want to give a nice testimonial plug to Barslow Construction. While we were away, you guys were over at the house. You have done such an amazing job with our living room and our bathroom. It looks amazing. We were so pleasantly surprised when we came home and saw the new colors, everything that you've done, the drywall work, the spackling, or whatever the fuck you call it. What do you call that? The spackle?
Mud.
You just did such a great job. And I want to thank you so much for everything that Barslow Construction has done. Are you guys taking on any more jobs for the summer?
All the time we're taking jobs on.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Have to stay working. We can't not work.
Yeah, of course.
We got to.
Just did such a great job.
Thanks, mate. We always try to make everybody happy.
John Kidder saying, better to ask forgiveness than permission.
100%.
Is that how you feel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, I remember when that guy next door to me, he like tore down a whole garage. Never got one permit or anything. He did it on the weekend. It was
John Kidder?
No. Right in Berry City next to Mulligan's used to be a dry cleaning place. That dude came in with an excavator, took it all down. And then like months later, the city went by. They're like, where the fuck did that thing go? And he was like, oh, sorry. I didn't know you needed a permit to remove that. It made a parking lot right next to Mulligan's. That was great.
Thanks for coming in, buddy. I love you.
All right, man. I love you. Take care.